My body's ready.
I've been recording for like 2 minutes. So.
My body is ready.
All right.
My body is ready.
All right, now that Kyle's done, welcome to the Adamant Ditto question and answer session. You guys wanted it, and you actually put your money where your mouth is. We got 90 comments on that video. A lot of them were repeat questions, so we're not going to answer every question that we got, but we're going to try to do the best we can. This is going to be a long one. Don't be upset if you don't see our question in there. We're going to go one by one, answer as many as we can. Let's just start it right now. Let's start with the first question.
Sanshru Samurai asks, why do you hate 3rd Gen so much?
All right.
Boy.
We actually get this question a lot. Surprise.
Yeah, we do.
We get it a lot. And a very nice person by the name of, by the YouTube handle, I should say, that's not their name, Eslo90.
No.
Eslo90 sent us a private message asking us about this, very politely, I might add. Most of you are not polite when you ask this question because you can't comprehend that we could hate it. So I wrote a really long response to Eslo90, and I'm just going to read it to you because it's really long and I wrote the whole thing out. So here we go. And when I'm done, or when I stop to breathe, you guys can interject your own thoughts on the matter. But I'm just going to start reading, so here we go. All right. It's an opinion thing. And if 3rd Gen is your favorite, we're probably not going to convince you otherwise, and that's fine. There's a lot to like about it, but in my opinion, the story is great. I love how the story actually affects the world that you're in, with like the rain and sun and stuff. That's really cool. The addition of abilities was huge for battling. But speaking for the rest of us, 3rd Gen was very underwhelming coming right off the heels of 2nd Gen. They removed almost all of the major improvements Gold and Silver made. Day and night exclusive Pokemon were gone, and there was only one region which made it half as long as the game that came before it. There were no situational Pokeballs, no new evolutions of old Pokemon, and before Emerald/Fire Red/Leaf Green/Coliseum came out, you could only catch 200 different Pokemon between Ruby and Sapphire. That's 50 less than the game that came before it. 51 less than the game that came before it. Any way you slice it, Ruby and Sapphire have less content than the games that preceded them. And for me, that is the ultimate nail in the coffin in terms of making a less quality game than the one that came before it. It is the ultimate nail in the coffin. But I could go on, and I will. The rival is supposed to be one of the main forces driving you on in the adventure. The rival's like this goal that you want to overcome. The rival situation in 3rd Gen was an unsatisfying mess that just sort of fizzles out halfway through the game. You never even fight your rival's fully evolved starter. Instead, what should be the climactic final showdown at Victory Road is with some other random kid that you barely remember from the beginning of the game. I'm not opposed to having two rivals. 5th Gen did that and it worked just fine. But the way that 3rd Gen did it was a total mess. Wally had no build-up and no place in the story otherwise. And the champion, what a missed opportunity that was. The final battle in the game, which should be this ultimate climax of everything that you've been building up towards, is with some bland dude that you met in a cave once or twice. Why should we care? I'm also not a fan of double battles, but even if I was, they were underutilized in the story, and there were way too many gimmicky duo Pokemon like Plusle and Mine and Lunatone and Solrock, Volbeat and Illumise that were ostensibly meant to show off the double battles feature, but in reality they were highly impractical to use together because they share weaknesses and type coverage. Dive was also a really cool new HM, but it was sinfully underutilized, especially in a game that's like half water. You can only dive in like 3 places in the entire game, and while you're underwater you can only catch Clamperl and rarely Relicanth. I was expecting a whole new world to explore under the waters of Hoenn. I got a path to the Team Rocket hideout and one city. 3rd Gen also started the tradition of featuring way too many legendaries, and it's only gotten worse each and every game since then. 1st Gen had 5. There was the Ultimate, there was the Small Cute One, and there was the Trio. 2nd Gen introduced the version-specific Ultimates for a total of 6. But 3rd Gen had 10. There was the Trio, the Version Ultimates, another Duo, 2 more Ultimates, and finally the Small Cute One. What the fuck is that shit about? The more legendary Pokemon there are, the less rare and special each of them becomes. It takes away from all of their mystique and importance when there's like 12 of them in one game. They keep adding more and more because kids eat that shit up, and I blame 3rd Gen as the tipping point. That was when it got too far for the first time. So That's why we hate third gen. Sorry for the rant. Personally, I think most of the people who ask us this question are quite a bit younger than us, and maybe Ruby and Sapphire were the first Pokemon games they played. And if that's the case, that's fine. But I think most of us think that as the next entry in a franchise, it's objectively the worst. But it's all opinions, so if you like third gen, that's great. We are not trying to convince you otherwise. You asked us why we hate it, and we told you.
And the dislikes come pouring in.
Yeah.
But this is where we're putting ourselves on a little bit of a plateau here. Like, instead of just listing off reasons why we hate it, he also gave juxtapositions as to why it was worse than the games before it, and why they improved upon the mistakes they made after, instead of just bashing this game.
Yeah, I want to add, I really like third gen. It's just the worst. It's the Cars 2 of the Pokemon games. It's not even that it's that bad. It's just the worst.
I have a feeling that this is a metaphor we'll be using a bunch, actually.
That's a metaphor Ricky uses a lot, so I would imagine we'll be using it quite a bit. There is a lot to like about Ruby and Sapphire, but there's more to dislike, and I think that's the problem.
There's a lot of stuff that got dropped.
Yeah, the Pokemon RPGs are never bad, okay? Don't think we don't like these games, because we do. We just think they're the worst, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Like, you guys get the wrong impression because we talk about how much we dislike it, and we do, but we don't hate them. They're still Pokemon RPGs. I still played the hell out of it when it came out. So.
Yeah.
There's that. There's why we hate third gen.
Yep. I agree.
Happy.
Yeah.
It's sort of like an ice cream machine. If you go to a buffet, it's like the right one is chocolate, the left one is vanilla, middle is the swirl. Well, it's like, even if, you end up with whichever one you think is the worst, it's still ice cream and you're still going to eat it.
This is true.
It's like the Cars 2.
I like the Cars 2 analogy better.
Yeah. Cars 2 analogy is better, sorry.
It's quicker to say. There's less explanation.
A+ for effort, though, Kyle.
Here's your star.
Okay.
Third gen actually did, I'm just throwing this out there, it did include 2 Pokemon that were related to other Pokemon. But they were both babies.
Yeah, they were both babies. Babies are dumb.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, baby's dumb.
Just because there's going to be that one guy out there,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good that we're covering our asses that way. I appreciate it, Josh.
Yeah. But let's move on. We spent enough time on that question. Trust me, there's going to be more Pokemon questions. Yeah.
The Bananaers asks, Matt, where did you get the Impish Matt name?
Good. This is a fairly easy one. I don't know why it's just address to me, but
because you're our stream. Our stream is named Impish Matt.
Well, soon after we started the channel, we all changed our names on Skype to a Pokemon nature and then our name, as if we were that nature. I happen to pick Impish. Ricky is jolly, Josh is naive, Jess is quiet. She uses that on a lot of her stuff now. Dawn is relaxed, Phil's calm. We all did it. Every single one of us did it at one time. Kyle's not a team player. He cheated.
No, mine says imposter, Kyle.
Because that's nature.
No, it is not.
It's Ditto's Dream World ability.
Yeah, it's an ability. It's also like fucking trading card.
Yeah, Imposter Oak is what I think of when I see it. I just see like angry, upset, like.
Yeah, Kyle with like angry eyebrows and a spit curl.
When I picture Imposter Kyle.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, it's as simple as that. It's just a Pokemon related thing. It goes with Adamant Ditto. So I'm Impish Matt. We've never called ourselves that in the videos, but that's what I use as a username some places. So there you go. Next question.
Alright. Hero G9000 asks, what's the most nostalgic game for you guys? Ooh, jeez.
Who wants to go first?
That's a really tough one, but off the top of my head, I will say Kirby's Adventure, because that is the first game that I remember completing. So that's obviously holds a very special place in my heart because of that.
Easily the most nostalgic game for me is Mario Kart 64. No questions asked. That game is the reason I got into Nintendo the way that I did. It's the reason that I started using the internet the way I did, which means in a weird way it kind of led me to these people and making this channel. So without Mario Kart 64, I wouldn't know my best friends, and I wouldn't be the kind of gamer that I am today, and I wouldn't change any of that. So Mario Kart 64 means a lot to me, and I will never look on it with anything but the thickest of nostalgia goggles, even though sometimes when you hit the wall, the hit detection is like the worst thing.
Also, red shells are useless.
Yeah, blue shells can be useless. Blue shells can hit the wall and bounce off in that game. Shut up. Stop making fun of Mario Kart 64.
Hey, I'm not judging you.
It feels like we all can. For me, I'm inclined to say that it's the Pokemon series, but I actually didn't have a game system until the Game Boy Color, and I had Pokemon Gold. So it had gone through a whole generation, and I knew Pokemon as a whole bunch of other things before I finally was able to know it as a video game. So that disinclines me to say that. So I am going to say the first game I owned on a console, which is Star Wars Rogue Leader.
On the GameCube.
Yes.
Which was your first console?
Yes. Thank you for making sure that got cleared up. Yes, the first console I ever owned was a GameCube. I'm a late bloomer.
But you made it here, and that's what counts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just... Oh, go ahead, Jess.
I'm sorry, Josh. I totally interrupted you. Go ahead.
Alright. Mine's kind of a tie between Final Fantasy IX and Super Mario 64. Two completely different games, but I just remember playing them a lot as a kid. I play Final Fantasy IX at least once a year. I try to. For the story, because I'm me. And I play Super Mario 64 every time I'm sick. I mean, I don't get 120 stars every time I'm sick. I probably could.
Are you playing Super Mario 64 right now?
No, for once.
Oh, okay.
No. I should be, though. You can tell I'm sick as a dog.
You're breaking the chains.
I know. But every time I get sick, I just get in the mood to play Mario 64, and I don't know, I get that childish home from school feeling.
I think that's a very nostalgic feeling, so I feel where you're coming from.
Yeah. And just that also reminds me to play Final Fantasy IX for some reason. And yeah, they're nostalgic for me.
Go ahead,
Right on.
Jess.
Alright. Sorry about that, Josh. For me, it... oh gosh, that's a tough one. But Sonic 1 was the first game I ever owned. And the big ass Sega Genesis was the first console I ever owned.
The Model 1?
So, yeah, the Model 1. I still have it. It's right here. I've got it.
Nice.
I didn't get a Model 1 until 3 years ago. Mine was Model 2. My very first one was Model 2, and it's so much better than the first one, but anyway, go on.
Oh, Model 2 was the best one. I regret giving that away. I really do. But I rediscovered it years later, and I was so happy. So, but Sonic, is what got me into gaming in the first place. After I discovered that, I got into the Mario series, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And so for me, I will never not look fondly back on Sonic the Hedgehog 1. So that's it for me.
That's a good choice. Don, you're the only one left.
Honestly, I've been sitting here and I don't even know how to answer that question. Do I just say my favorite game? Because my favorite game is very nostalgic for me.
I think that would be a fine way to answer it, and I know what you're going to say. And
Yeah. Well, my favorite game and also my most nostalgic game, it's my favorite because it's my most nostalgic game, I suppose, is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, DX for the Game Boy Color. I just
Awesome.
That's an excellent choice.
had so many memories playing that game. I don't know what else to say. It's a great game.
Good answer.
Yeah, you don't have to explain why you like
Yeah.
it. You just are. You played it a lot. That's all that matters.
Yep. Oh, I must say that it was like my first, like, I feel like my own game. Like when I first got the Game Boy Color, I was looking at the like little case daily where they like sell like put all the games or whatever, and then I was like, I want that Zelda, and then that was like my first game for myself, you know?
Nice.
That you picked yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
a great memory.
nostalgic thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Roxas Askeljayan. Oh wait. Oh wait, never mind. That's Roxas Axel Shion. Okay, I see. 3652 asks, what do all of you guys, everyone can answer, think of each generation of Pokemon music? Like the music from Gen 1, 2, 3, etc. And which is your favorite music of all time from Pokemon? You guys don't need to answer this little part, question mark.
Pokemon series has great music. I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
It all does, yeah.
I don't think there's a Pokemon game with bad music.
Yeah, I like every single gen of music. I always loved like the remixes of the battle themes and everything like that. I really like how in Black 2 and White 2 all the gyms have unique themes. That's
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
really awesome.
super awesome. That's part of why I would either say Gen 5 or Gen 2. As like, if I had to pick one with my favorite music, it would be one of those two. And the only reason I say Gen 2 is because the second part of that question, what is your favorite music from Pokemon? My answer with a bullet is the music that plays when you fight Lance or Red in Gold and
Hell
Silver.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I literally...
This is so good.
Kyle and I can speak for both of us here, we literally used to beat the game just to hear that music. Like, we would just play all the way through the Elite Four just to, like, listen to that little chiptune song. So, that's my favorite Pokemon song.
My favorite Pokemon song is actually Team Plasma's theme from the original Black and White.
Hell yeah.
And like that's really like tough for me to say because like for years it's just been like the main Pokemon like battle theme. Like I was just like that's a perfect piece of video game music. And then like Plasma's theme came around and I'm just like holy fucking shit, this is so good. I love just battling these dudes. Like when I was a kid I used to avoid Team Rocket at all costs. I was like, oh man, I wonder if I can get around this corner without him seeing me. Oh, he's spinning, I can run past him. But in like Black and White, like Plasma, I was like, fight me right the fuck now. I love it just from the intro to everything. Just it's so good. It's the best. It is so good. I also, this is a weird one, but I really like Arceus's battle theme.
That one's great. It's all like
drums.
percussion.
Yeah, it's entirely percussion. It sounds like something that would be for something as ancient as Arceus.
Godlike. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the build up in it. It starts out so slow. It's just like doom.
It's a shame that like that's something that you only get to hear once in a
yeah.
game.
Yeah, I only know about it because of online.
Yeah.
I heard it on the internet, but I fucking love it. I love
Guess what my music of the week is gonna be?
Good choice. Good choice.
Doom, 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 doom.
I'm inclined to say that my favorite's 5th gen because of what they did for gym battles and leader battles. Because like when they're down to their last Pokemon,
Yes.
it surges with the main theme remix. And I'll tell you what,
my favorite thing. Oh my god.
That is the best way to get you charged for a fight, especially if
Like, alright, I'm gonna win a gym
especially if
fight.
you're like not properly leveled and you actually are struggling to fight it. Like I'm remembering my fight in Black 2 against Clay, and I was so overwhelmingly underleveled that I was like, I just needed that music to like power me through it.
You know what else 5th Gen did that was really awesome musically? Was they made the like low health beeping a song.
Yes.
That
a lot
was
of people hate that though.
that's
but I
so
love it.
cool.
Yeah.
Who could hate that?
Like, to me, that song is less annoying than having to listen to that beeping while like the battle music is still playing. Like,
See, it's the same thing, but it's the inverse of switching the music when they're down to their last Pokemon. It's getting you charged because your Pokemon's on his last legs.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's like when your opponent's on his last legs, there's a victorious charge, and there's a negative charge
An
if
oh crap
you're the one
charge.
fighting for your life.
they get your shit together, charge.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's just a real shame that like when you're in the red, it comes out on top over the victorious charge music.
I know what you're saying. Makes sense.
I'd have to say my favorite is Alessa's Gym in Black 2 and White 2.
Are you ready?
No, that is a real good one, but all of those are good for the gym leaders. But I actually really like the Pokemon Center song, and I like how they remix that every single time.
Yeah, I wanted
and
to say
keep
that
the
too.
same thing, you know?
I wanted to say that too. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be boring because I like the Pokemon Center song because it's the same but remix. But
Hmm.
Dude, it's one of the most iconic video game songs of this generation, I think.
I know.
It's in Brawl.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of songs are in Brawl. Fucking Top Harvest Castle is in Brawl, but
But I mean, you could have put so many other Pokemon musics into the Pokemon stadiums, but the Pokemon Center is one of the ones they picked.
yeah, it's not even really like fighting music at its core, and it was still badass enough for them to be like, yeah, let's just totally beat the shit out of Donkey Kong to this song.
I think it's impossible not to like the Pokemon Center music.
Yeah, it's
No kidding.
catchy as fuck.
It's just
Makes you
okay. I
happy to be
think
in a hospital.
it's like ultimately, I think Gen 5 is the one that
Far, Lord.
like took the most care of its music. It's like it really realized this is where they like had that epiphany about how much score can affect a game. Not that the other games didn't, because they absolutely did. But like they took really especially good care of it in Gen 5.
I'd probably
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yep.
I hate to copy Matt, but I think my favorite might be Gym 5, just because the Team Plasma theme,
Hell
man,
yeah.
you can't beat that.
Come on, guys.
Also, the gym theme, were the gym themes were from like just the first Black and White were pretty awesome as well.
Well, that theme is so iconic. I'm just like, I love it.
I love what they did with it. I think they did a good job. They didn't over remix it, which is good, but they kept it the way that it was supposed to be, but like they still stepped it up a little bit, and I like that.
Good stuff all around.
I just want to say I also love the remix of Team Plasma in Black 2 and White 2. I thought that was awesome because they had like 5 different remixes. Like
There were
just
so
for
many.
backgrounds and all that.
Yeah, but I didn't like any of them as much as I liked the original.
Yeah.
But who cares? Whatever. They're still good.
I think we've made our peace.
Yeah. Hold on.
No.
Objection!
Objection!
Sister.
I must say, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, when you get that option to change it to the old school music,
Oh,
so
man.
cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Hell
nostalgia
yes.
power.
That was super awesome. I forgot about that.
That was cool.
Good ad.
They did a lot of things right with Heart Gold
Good
and Soul
addition.
Peanut Better, yep, that's the name, asks, why does Adamant Ditto post videos, and whose idea was it to start a gaming channel?
I feel like we've answered this one a little bit before,
Yeah, I feel like we answered this in
but
Never did.
ultimately it was
2-year anniversary.
like an impromptu accident.
We straight up kind of just were like, it was, at first it was just Matt, myself, and Kyle, and Viper. And we sort of were just like, let's start doing YouTube videos. I mean, that's a lame answer, but that's pretty much what happened.
So I bought a webcam, and we filmed some stuff, and then we played some Mega Mans, and that's it. That's how that happened. It was really nobody's idea. It was just a collective weird thing that happened.
Forgetting an important step, which is that we roped all the rest of our friends in.
Oh, that's right. We did rope literally every single other person that we communicate with on a regular basis. into Adamant Ditto at one point. So, good job there. And
Way
why
to
do
go us?
Yeah, why do we post videos? Because we want to. I don't know how to answer that.
I kind of just told you that we just wanted to. So.
Yeah, that we like to. We're giving entertainment. Like
We're not trying to impress anyone. We're just having fun.
Yeah, we make ourselves laugh more than we make any of you laugh. So
I think we do, really.
we have more fun doing this than you have watching it. So I mean, we'll as long as there's us and we have time.
We just love doing it. That's
making
why.
videos.
You guys, you totally make it worth it, but I think we would be doing this if nobody was watching.
Yeah.
We kind of
we're
are.
doing it when nobody was watching.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a fair point to
Yeah,
say.
we didn't always have 8,000 subscribers. We used to have like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez, when the hell did that happen?
half of them were us.
Yeah.
I'd say more than half.
That about covers that. We've answered that one before. Look, our Who is Adamant Ditto video and our 2-year anniversary answers a lot of questions similar to that. And we go into much greater detail. So check that out.
JF Gberman 95 asks, "What's your guys' favorite PC game?"
Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, I think that's unanimous.
I don't play a lot of PC games, so
I actually don't have Team Fortress. I haven't played Team Fortress 2, so my answer will be different.
it's free to play, man.
Yeah. How can you now play Team Fortress 2? It's free.
It's a good question. I don't know. Just as much fun as I have with the meet the videos, just the game itself doesn't seem to appeal to me. Anyways, but I'll just interject that it's probably Left 4 Dead 2, but I did enjoy Plants vs. Zombies 2.
I still need to get that. That does look fun.
I actually enjoy Red Alert 2 and the first one and the third one most.
Yes.
That's like my only PC games.
Even though my favorite Command & Conquer game is on the PlayStation 1, which is very strange because they're PC games, Red Alert 2 is a really good game that I never actually beat, and I don't know if I even know where it is or if it would work on my computer, but it was good when I used to play it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't run on my computer anyway.
It had really cheesy live-action cutscenes.
Affirmative.
We quote that a lot, especially Matt and Josh, because I don't know if any of the rest of us have played any of those games. But look out for that.
I missed out on that one.
Anyway.
Mine's probably I really like Left 4 Dead too, of course. But I've also been playing, like I said in the last video, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. So that's my crack right now.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah, exactly. But like, as
I'll
far
be here
as-
all week.
No, please leave.
Okay, bye.
I shouldn't have laughed at that, but I like I said, like for the co-op and for like the characters and like the story, it's totally not scary at all. It's such a goofy game. I love Left 4 Dead 2.
Pills.
Bill's here.
Bill's here.
Don, you've played the most PC games. Why don't you?
Yeah, I'm probably the most PC gamer out of all of us.
Yeah.
So I'm the most master race.
PCist gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of
PC.
us prefer console games. No offense to
Yeah.
PC games, but I just only recently got into even playing PC games outside of like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Command & Conquer this last year.
Computers are for homework
Steam's to blame.
and cats.
Okay, are you done?
Go ahead, Don.
Okay, well, I actually don't even know either, man. It's really hard to, like, just pick out favorite games. Like, that's such a loaded question. But right now, it's definitely not League of Legends. Fuck that game.
Shots were fired.
Yeah.
Talking cover.
Next thing you know, they're gonna ask me, like, why do you hate League of Legends, man? It's the greatest game ever made. Whatever. If I go with, like, nostalgia factor, I would say StarCraft Brood War. If I go with also nostalgia factor, because I played a lot of Team Fortress 2 back when the Orange Box came out, and up until now. So, Team Fortress 2 is pretty good. Monkey Island's pretty good. Shit, I don't know. So there's a lot of PC games that I played, and Team Fortress 2 is pretty good. Let's just say that. Let's just say Team Fortress 2.
Good stuff.
Cool. When's those action figures come out?
Yeah, see when?
I want those for my birthday. They're supposed to come out in January, but I haven't actually heard like a solid release date. Fuckers, I want them.
I don't play that many PC games, but I recently completed Mark of the Ninja on Steam,
Yeah?
which is kind of cheating because that's also on 360. But I played it on the PC, and that game was super awesome. But I will say that my favorite PC game is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego.
Wow. I thought it was going to be Putt Putt Goes to the Moon.
No, see, I played that. I'm one of the like 2 people on the planet who owned a 3DO, so that's where I played Putt Putt.
Oh, what's a 3DO?
Yeah, well, that's a story for another day, kids.
Is that,
But yeah,
is that,
I played Putt Putt, Joins the Parade, and Fatty Bear, Birthday Surprise on the 3DO. So to me, I know they're PC games, but I don't give a shit.
is that the sequel console to the TurboGrafx 16? Is that?
No, not at all. No, it's basically like a shitty like CDI.
I know what it is.
Okay, all right. Well, then why are you trolling me, man?
You know what the 3DO is, man.
You
I've seen
expect
plumbers
anything
don't wear
less?
ties.
Forgot about that game.
Anyway, that's it. That's it. Moving on.
Okay, alright. Red Gohan 147, or 147, asks, to Ricky, with the Wii U now available, and you being a huge Kirby fan, what would you like to see in the next major Kirby game, if it comes on the Wii U? This is a really good question, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Red Gohan 147. So thank you. This is a very selfish answer, but I would just like to see another Kirby's Return to Dreamland, a 4-player, possibly 5-player with the gamepad.
Great.
Kirby adventure with all sorts of crazy abilities and powers. That's what I want. That's what I love as a Kirby fan. But I will say, this is also a very selfish answer, but you asked it to me, so this is what you get, you know. I would play the shit out of Kirby Canvas Curse Wii U.
Oh, great.
This is crazy.
I think you're blowing Don's mind over there.
I knew he was going to say Canvas Curse too, because like that's definitely like a good idea for the Wii U.
I would play.
I really love Canvas Curse, the first one,
Yeah.
and it definitely works for the Wii U.
Yes, absolutely. I would play the shit out of that. So, great question, I thought.
Marianne 2573 asks, whose idea was it to do the Adamant Ditto broadcast radio you used to put on the streams sometimes?
That was me. That was
For
my
that?
idea. And then I got another job and I stopped doing it. Because I wasn't at home all the time to do it. I wish that I could figure out a way to like just get it going sometimes. Because a lot of people used to actually go to that and just hang out and chat. And that was cool. Like I could talk to Stick and like Marianne and Zombie Fog.
Don, we don't have the exact same library, but Don and I both have a lot of video game music. We could do it every so often if we felt like it.
Yeah,
So-
I tried. What I did was I downloaded like music from every game we played on the channel, as well as just music from games that I really like. Obviously, I mean we didn't play Super Mario Sunshine for the channel, but I do have the soundtrack because it's really good. But yeah, that was my idea. It's just a fun little experiment. I can't believe anybody still remembers it. So good job, you, Marianne.
Leave it to Marianne to be the ultimate fan.
Marianne, one of our #1 fans.
Yeah. A ton of people ask, what's your favorite gen in Pokemon?
Well, a ton of people did ask. That was the most common question. What am I supposed to put?
Well, if you
All
asked
of their names.
Yeah.
is this a unanimous thing? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's a unanimous thing.
Okay. Well, let's go around the horn then.
Alright, I'll start it off.
Are we talking
guess.
about gens like as in games or gens as in just the Pokemon themselves? I don't even know.
Well, just
I would
take it
do-
all in.
As games.
Well, if it's as
Sure.
games, then go ahead, Josh. You wanted to go first, so I'll let you go.
I'd say, like, as games, probably Gen 4, because not only do they have the best Wi-Fi rules, They had they had Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I think are the best games, which would technically make it Gen 2, but whatever.
Yeah, but you specifically think Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best, not Gold and Silver.
Right.
I agree with you, by the way. I agree with you, by the way.
Is it unanimous? Is it actually unanimous? Was I lying?
I think it is unanimous because Soul Silver, I think, is a perfect game. So
Yeah.
The other thing, I think the biggest thing about Gen 4 was that was when we got the physical special split.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
I forgot. I forget that was like a thing. I'm so used to it now. It's
Because
just
it
like
makes so much sense.
yeah. It was just like in second gen when they split apart special attack and special defense. It's like it's so big that you just stop even thinking about it after a certain amount of time.
That's what she said.
thanks, Josh. but what about
That one was really good. Can we just like pay credit to that real quick?
Bravo, Josh.
Good. It was good.
Bravo.
this is what happens. We can't even get together to do like a formal thing without somebody bursting into laughter. I can't even.
Oh, the timing on that was really like meticulously crafted.
Okay,
Like you waited just long enough that I thought you weren't gonna do it, and then you slammed that one in there. A plus.
That's some Don right there.
Yeah. Anyway.
We're dead. We're dead. We're officially dead. Rest in peace, Adamant Ditto. Good night. Okay. Let's say this person meant in terms of Pokemon. Is that unanimous?
Probably
No.
not.
No. Okay. Well, my favorite's first gen because I'm a nostalgia whore.
Nostalgia goggles.
Well,
It's really
I just think they have a lot of the best designs. Not that the other gens don't. I think fourth gen's really good, and I think second gen's really good, and fifth and third are okay.
I think, see, this isn't unanimous, because, like, if we're just, second gen has a lot of my very favorite Pokemon, like Heracross and Lugia and stuff, but, like, I think, when I think of the Pokemon in second gen, like, as a whole, I think of, like, forgettable ones like Stantler and Dunsparce and, what's that?
Quillfish.
Can't even, thank you. I couldn't even remember. I literally couldn't even remember.
He said forgettable.
Quillfish's name.
He meant it.
I literally
Quillfish was Barboach.
I like
Just throwing that out
Quillfish.
there. I like
Like
Quillfish.
Ursula.
So, like, second gen, while it's my favorite gameplay-wise, I think the Pokemon in it are kind of eh. Like, there's a lot of great ones, but there's a lot of eh ones in it, to me,
Yeah.
personally.
Like Yon.
Like, there's hyper nostalgia goggles for Gen 1, absolutely. Like, I still say that, you know, if Primate were Gen 5, Matt would hate it. But because it's Gen 1, he loves Primate.
What's wrong with Primate?
Yeah, what do you got against Primate? I
Well, I
also
mean, like-
don't love Primate.
He would have been on your worst names list, because it's like, it's Primate.
that list was on.
What are you talking
all
about?
gens.
Yeah. I don't, Kyle, you won't smoke here. We never did a worst names list.
Oh, I forgot that we didn't do the thing.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
It's still on our channel, but, like, we don't talk about that shit.
I know, I'm playing along.
Anyway,
Poorly.
Jess, have you, voiced your thoughts on this?
Oh, I had to echo Josh. As far as, like, gameplay, I don't know about Pokemon. Like, as far as Pokemon, like, just for nostalgia goggle reasons, I'd have to say Gen 1. But as far as gameplay, Gen 4, definitely.
Mhm.
You know,
You can't beat Heart Gold and Soul Silver, man.
you really can't.
just can't.
You can't stand up to that.
Flawless victory.
They came so close with Black and White,
Yeah.
and then they threw it all away.
I will say, like, Black and White and Black and White 2 are really, like, just really sound, like, Pokemon experiences. Almost perfect in most ways. But why can't Pokemon follow you anymore? Come on, guys.
Yeah, why? That was stupid. They shouldn't have taken that away. The fucking Wi-Fi battles absolutely suck now.
Oh.
Uh,
I've literally blocked that out of my mind. I was like, oh, Josh must be talking about the fact that Pokemon can't follow you anymore, because, like, that's the only
I've said, I
We
said
have
in
an
my
entire pod. Go ahead.
I said in my favorite DS games list that Black and White have the best story of any Pokemon game, which is a huge compliment considering that the Gen 1 had head and shoulders above all the rest of the Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
Because Black and White, challenged the ideology of Pokemon, and that was just astronomical. And they did it extraordinarily well.
Yeah, that was super.
Yeah, they took something that I think Ricky mentioned this before, but they took something that we Pokemon fans have grown up with, and they challenged all of it. And I love that about it.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we really gave a concrete answer there, but I think you kind of feel it in your heart.
I think that our opinions are out there.
I feel it in my gut.
The Reality Jack asks, I have a question which might be hard to answer or even impossible. But if you can come up with something, it would be really... Hang on, I gotta scroll, because it's a long one. It would be really cool. How did all of you manage to become, and most importantly, stay friends over the internet for such a long period of time? From my own experience, I can only say that my online friendships never last long, or the ones that last long are with creepy guys. So I have to end them rather soon before it gets too uncomfortable. Happened to me 3 times now.
I think that's actually a really good question, but I don't exactly know how to answer it.
That is tricky to answer, but I will say one thing that is in my head, and I feel like is a good point. None of us were as close as we are now before we started talking to each other on Skype. Like, we would talk on AIM and internet forums and stuff a lot, but none of us ever really got to be super tight with each other like we all are now until Skype entered the equation and we started talking with our voices. I don't know if that actually played into it, but there was a marked transition of the Skype era where we were just suddenly talking to each other all the goddamn time.
Yeah, we're talking about fucking 12-hour conversations.
Yeah, one day I swear it was 14 hours long. I screen capped that shit because I couldn't fucking. How do you do that?
It's more than half a day.
Yeah, so that's I don't know, to make it that way you will, but Skype has done a lot for our friendships. I think we owe a lot to it. At least I do.
I can't say I disagree, but I don't know. I guess we've just...
That was all just so fucking long ago.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You alluded to this in your question, but you gotta understand, we've been friends for 8 years. So,
I think Rick and I have been friends since the 6th grade.
Yeah.
But I think he only introduced me to Pixel Tendo, which is where I met most of these guys in the 10th or 11th grade.
Yeah. It was definitely in high school somewhere. So that you just said something that people might not know, which is that even though we are all internet friends, most of us, there's a question later about how many of us have met. Kyle and I actually went to middle school and high school together, so that is the only legit, I don't know what you want to call that.
Real world friendship.
It's the most found traditional friendship.
Yeah.
And that might also have something to do with how we stay friends so long, because, they talk to each other because they've been friends for a long time, and they're always in the call with us, so we get dragged along with it.
I guess.
No, I don't actually think that has anything to do with it. We're just fucking nerds who have been talking to the same group of people for 8 years. I don't know how to even answer that question. It's just worked out.
It's a commitment thing, because it's also, I guess, a little bit of luck. I mean, if you happen to, meet 3 creepy guys,
Sorry.
But on the other hand, we maybe just hit the jackpot and found a community where the number of creepy guys was kept to a minimum.
Yeah, it's just me.
You?
Yeah, I thought Josh was the creepy guy.
Sorry, Josh, I didn't mean to step on your toes. Anyway,
Yeah, it's okay.
good
I
question.
come to collect your father. Bitch.
Good question. I like that question.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I like that one too. All right, next question.
Hold on. I do want to say that there was actually a period in time where like I wasn't really talking to you guys.
There was, but you just kind of came back and have been around ever since. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you for coming back.
We definitely have had our ups and downs, but it's we're all better for it. We're better all for it. Is
Yeah,
what I.
We're better all for it.
Yeah.
People come and go.
But Don comes back.
Yeah, but I come back, baby.
Welcome.
Don's
back.
like a boomerang.
Press A to do it.
Yes. Can I ask the next question now?
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, you cannot.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you.
Nope. It's my turn. It's my joke. Okay. Logan Gibson asks, what is your opinion on Mega Man Network Transmission and the show Mega Man NT Warrior? And then he has a second question. Also, if any of you could be in the world of a video game, what video game world would you want to be in? I guess we should field the first one.
Let's do the first one.
I'm assuming by network transmission, I don't know if you're talking about like that one GameCube game or just the Mega Man Battle Network series like as a whole.
Right, because NT Warrior was the anime, and that was when NT stood for Network Transmission.
Right. Well, there was a GameCube game called Mega Man Network Transmission, but I never.
Well, then there you go.
I never played it. But the Battle Network series as a whole, I feel like I said this in a video recently. It might have not been in a video, and we were just talking on Skype.
I think we were just talking.
We do that so much that it's hard for me to separate. But I loved, in fact, the first Battle Network. I thought it was a fantastic game, and like immediately I was like, I gotta play the second one. And I started playing it, and I was like, I played this game already. Like, they're all kind of the same. I mean, I never like tried to like sit down and play them all. I'm sure they're great because, like I said, I love the first one, and if they're all the first one, then I should love them all. I just never really bothered.
Never
I'm gonna say it's like. All right, never mind. I don't want to say anymore.
No. I wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, okay. So I get to talk?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I want to say that I really like the Mega Man Battle Network series, but I kind of share the same sentiments that Ricky does. The games are obviously the same, but like that's Mega Man, the Mega Man games are all the same.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Mega Man 1 through 6 are all the same too, but I don't know. That's fair to say. I never really looked at it that way.
Those games are less of a commitment.
That's true.
They're not RPGs.
Yeah, they're RPGs. But I like Mega Man Battle Network.
Do you like
Star
Network
Force
Transmission?
is a piece of crap. I didn't play Network Transmission because I heard it was crap, and I don't play crap games. The show NT Warrior, I did watch, but they butchered it so much, I
Yeah,
didn't want to watch anymore.
I've tried to get into it too.
They called Mail like Mailu or some garbage.
They changed like half of the Robot Master names. Like fucking Fireman was Torchman. What? That's
Way to go.
The one that stuck out for me was Needleman became Spike Man, but all of his attacks were needle this, needle that, and it was just it stuck out like a sore thumb.
Like, what's the point?
Why even change his name?
I will say, talking about Robot Masters, I thought that was really cool about the Battle Network series, how it would like do its own sort of spin on like Robot Masters.
Oh,
And
totally.
They even invented a lot of new ones that were cool, like Number Man and Shark Man. But like when they would do like their like really cyber spin on like a Robot Master, some of that was terrible, but most of it was really cool. Like Battle Network, like Skullman, and like there was another one that I thought was fucking awesome, but let's just say Skullman.
Skullman was pretty awesome.
But anyway,
My personal favorites of like the EXE versions are Gutsman and Quickman.
Gutsman is it's very different, but it totally works. It's a cool design. I can't really place Quickman in my head off the top of my head.
I
It
did
looked like
enjoy the NT Warrior series. I was also much younger. I don't know if I'd appreciate it as much if I look back on it, but I did enjoy it as a kid.
I tried to get into it, but I just was like, this is wrong. This is Super for kids. I don't even know if it was for kids, but somebody fucked it up.
I don't think it was, because Lan was voiced by the same guy who does the voice for Light Yagami.
Really? That's weird. Those characters.
I had no idea.
Those characters could not be more different.
I swear. Like, bring up a clip of Lan and a clip of Light, and it's the same damn dude.
I believe you. The voice acting, like, casts, just in general, is like the most just shallow pool of people that you could possibly imagine.
I feel like Mega Man was like some bro dude. I don't know. I just remember him like being like, "Lan, you're so cool" or something.
Scott.
Yeah.
Hey, see if I help you again.
So glad you're my brother, Lan. Oh,
Yep.
spoilers. Sorry.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for a 10-year-old
What the
game.
hell?
Yeah. Spoilers are actually bugs.
Next, you're gonna tell me that Proto Man and Mega Man are brothers.
Anyway.
Getting milk.
I never played any of those games or watched the show, so I have no opinion whatsoever.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
echo
why I
this.
decided to talk about it.
Yeah, you. I'm glad somebody was able to field it because I could not. But I can field his second question, which is, if you could live in a world of a video game, what world would you live in?
Oh, yes, I forgot all about that.
I would live in Fallout. No.
No.
I hope not.
Oh,
I would.
can I change my
Friggin-
answer? I said Pokemon, but I want it to be Sugar Rush.
Oh, yes!
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, man. Does diabetes exist in Sugar Rush World? Because maybe not.
That's horrible.
No,
not-
I'd probably say Pokemon, but that's super, like, generic answer.
I know, that's the most
Yeah.
boring, but I'm sorry. Like, what world would be more fun to live in than Pokemon? Come on.
Maybe Kingdom Hearts, because you can go to every world.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to live in Kingdom Hearts where black creatures that eat your heart are a regular thing? No, thank you.
What the fuck is monsters made of rock in Pokemon, alright?
Yeah, that
Well, they gotta be black.
catch in a ball and use as your slave.
Yeah, unless they kill you first.
In which case you have to scurry to the Pokemon
You can't
Center.
die in Pokemon. You just white out and wake up at a Pokemon Center somehow.
You've never seen what they do to the human man.
Well, then again, we're talking about the games, so... never mind.
Even in the anime, fucking like Team Rocket would just get like burned to a crisp, and they just
True, but
turn
I'm
black
thinking
and walk away.
I'm thinking of Pokemon Special, and then like in those
Oh,
ones,
God.
Oh, that
Cutting
fucking
Arbok's head off?
Yeah,
Jeez.
dude, Arbok's chopped in half. So violent. I love how as soon as you said that, me and Josh were just like, oh! That poor evil Arbok.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'd live in Pokemon.
Animal Crossing would be a good one, but I don't know.
dude, I'm honestly, it's not even the living with alongside, you know, anthropomorphic dogs and robotic frogs that interest me. It's the fact that, you know, you can just go fishing or dig up some fossils. It's the fossils that win me over, because I was so into fossils when I was a kid.
They're just like sitting there like 2 feet under the ground.
And you can
Under assumption.
it's like you can totally just, it's a self-sustaining society, and you can you bought a house,
Also,
and you could just fish and sell them to the guy, and you're like, hey,
Here's
I
the
bought
money
a
you
house.
gave me.
hey, this is, I think, a significant point in favor of Animal Crossing, and that is that fully grown, fuck.
Fully loaded, fully full.
fully, fuck.
Fully grown.
Fruit that are fully grown fruit appear on trees in 3 days.
Mhm.
Okay?
Or in about an hour, if you're Josh.
Shut up.
Fucking Josh.
All you have to do is go to someone else's town, get a foreign fruit, plant it, and then
And
sell it for 500 a day.
Yeah, but anyway.
Ugh.
How about you, Jess?
Oh, I'm boring. Pokemon. Like, there's nothing else that wins me over.
You know, I don't like that our channel is like only known for doing Pokemon stuff, so I hate for that to even be my answer. But like I said minutes ago, like what world would be more fun to live in than Pokemon? I'm sorry.
None.
There is none.
What about you, Don?
Mario might be
What
terrible.
about me? I feel like this guy wanted us to say Mega Man Battle Network. It's a pretty good like world to be in because like everything's like internet based or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of like Pokemon where you have like something that you control, I guess.
Yeah, but like any dude with a phone can walk up to a street light and disable power for the whole city.
Yeah,
That's a terrible world.
dude, that's
No,
crazy.
thank you.
Sorry to like shoot you down if that's your.
No, you're absolutely right. But that's what creates conflict in those games.
Sure.
Some jackal is just like fucking put hacks into
I'm gonna turn all the ovens on and start fires.
yeah, exactly.
What an asshole.
What a terrible, terrible world. Anyone can just hack anything.
I know, right?
But Don, what's your real answer?
My real answer? Let's see here. I didn't want to say Pokemon. Pokemon's good though. I wanted to say like at first because like I had just recently watched Tron Legacy. I don't even know if it counts. The Grid.
Yes.
I'll count it.
Tron
Half
was a
and
video
half.
game.
Nah, I'm not gonna do
If we're
that.
counting Sugar Rush,
I'm not
You
gonna
count
do
Kingdom
that. No
Hearts,
way.
the grid.
No way. Let's see here. I want to say maybe one of the worlds in Final Fantasy.
That'd be cool.
They're all pretty like huge. They like you can actually, go through it.
You know, as long as like monsters weren't coming out of Lunatic Pandora, I think the world of FFA would be pretty cool to live in. I mean, you could walk up to anybody in the world and they'll play card
Play
games
cards
with you.
with
Yeah. Anybody in the world speaks your language and knows how to play your favorite card game. That's a pretty cool world to live in.
on motorcycle? No.
You
Anyway,
play card games on airships, so.
yeah, boy,
Yeah, boy.
It's only a matter of time.
our Zell's hoverboard that gets taken away.
Yeah.
Card games on hoverboards.
Final
No
Fantasy
one-
is pretty
no-
cool.
No one even like poked their head into Mushroom Kingdom or Hyrule.
Too many scary monsters.
Hyrule would be pretty
I
cool.
was actually thinking Hyrule before.
If you had a sword, it would be awesome.
I don't want to live in a world where like shit happens.
Alright, then you can still
Yeah,
with Animal
dude, that's
Crossing.
why I picked Animal
I
Crossing.
don't want to live in a world where video games don't exist. At least in
The
Pokemon,
worst thing
they
that
have
happens
like
in Animal Crossing is
Hey, that's a
Get-
huge bonus for Animal Crossing. Video games exist in that world.
Yeah.
The NES exists in that world. I pick Animal Crossing. That's my answer.
you're welcome.
You want to
really
live
weird how
in
that-
a world... Hold on, go on. You go on.
No, I just think it's really weird that probably wasn't even like a game he thought of being one of his answers going into this, and somehow everybody convinced him.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
But go on.
Basically, you want to live in a world that is very, very much like ours. It's like fucking Animal Crossing is designed to be like real life.
Yeah, but my neighbor is a giant squirrel.
I want to live in The Sims, so I could just say Rosebud a bunch of times and get $1,000.
What a strange answer. No, Josh, don't you want to live in The Sims so you can burgle houses?
And get away with it every time.
No, see, he could only get away with that if, the god of that world commanded it to be so. If he lived in The Sims, he would be a sim.
That's true. That would be kind of a shitty world if you could just be like peeing and they're like, oh, now I guess I'm going to bed now. Wasn't really done peeing, but
but I guess I don't have to anymore.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to live in The Sims.
No, I was just joking. I'd still probably say like either Pokemon or Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Both of which have video games in it.
Yeah, but Voltorb Flip.
No, I'm talking about like they have your player's house has a Wii in it, or
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I changed my answer back to Pokemon.
I had actually completely forgotten about that.
plus you could find free shit in garbage cans.
Yeah,
Or
but
just
not
lying
actually.
around.
you could do
Shit.
that here.
Except you don't look creepy in Pokemon.
That's a good point. That's true.
And nobody really gives a shit.
I think we've spent long enough on this question.
Yeah, let's move on to the next. I'll just say the grid.
Not to cut anybody off, but
Yeah.
Infinity Master Z asks, this question is aimed at anyone who wants to answer it, or everyone, I guess. My question is, what was your first video game console and / or your favorite? So, Kyle, actually, I already revealed.
Yeah, we already established that my first game console was the Nintendo GameCube.
All right.
Sorry to have spoiled that.
My first game console was the Sega Genesis. And I got it when I was 3 years old for Christmas, and I got a bunch of games with it, one of which was Sonic 1, the other one was Sonic 2, and I liked Sonic 2 more. But the Genesis is not my favorite console. It's a great console, but it's not my favorite. I would say my favorite is the DS. I just think it has the most games that are fun. But I just love a lot of consoles, so it's not an easy
At this point in
question
time, the DS and the 3DS are head and shoulders above the rest of the consoles as favorite systems for me too.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that.
I don't want to answer this question, but my first console was the NES, and I'd have to say my favorite's probably the 3DS right now, because I can play DS games. Oh,
That's cheating, man.
even though it
Never
plays them
established
crappily.
for this.
I'll accept that.
I'll allow it.
I said this earlier. My first console was the Sega Genesis, Model 1. And my favorite, I'm gonna have to echo Josh, is the 3DS right now.
Good answer.
Air 5, Jess.
Don, what was your first video game console?
My first video game console, I was born into the Super Nintendo era, so that's my favorite, or first.
Well, what's your favorite?
DS.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
Fair answer.
We're all
DS,
DS fans here.
DS happens to be my favorite also, so it sounds like we're close to unanimous on that one.
Like, frankly, it had a great plethora of games, and I think just the fact that it's handheld and I can just play it anywhere without bothering anybody, that's the big thing that really wins it over for me.
It's handheld, it's got Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it's got Chrono Trigger, it's got Kirby Superstar, Flawless Victory, I'm sorry. That's it, I'm sorry. It's over. It's my favorite console. Phoenix Wright, oh my god, stop, you're hurting me. Professor Layton,
Logan.
it's too good.
See, there's a lot of things on Nintendo's handheld market that they're doing right that Vita neglects to do, and that's all of these exclusive titles that you named.
Okay, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
We've established.
I just felt like that could be interjected there.
Ricky, what was your first video game console?
My first console was several. Literally, when I was born, my house had an NES and an Atari 2600, and when did the Genesis come out? Was it 89?
91.
I thought it was 91.
When?
I think it was 91.
So that would have been a few years later, but like, my dad was already, when I was born, he was like writing for video game magazines, so we just had all these consoles around the house. So like, I pretty much had no choice but to grow up playing video games instead of sports.
You lucky bastard.
You poor thing. I don't know how you made it through life.
I'll just say the NES was like the first one that I like played religiously. So
Fair enough.